guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura Presnell. I'm the founder of Balanced Bombshells, and I help women naturally balance their hormones. In today's video, I'm going to be diving into 6 things I've been doing to help balance my hormones after having baby number 2. So I feel like when I had our son Dylan, I didn't understand the postpartum journey as well in terms of hormones. And this time around, I definitely came more equipped with what I could be doing to balance your body after having a baby, which is extremely stressful. Like, you just went through 9 months of carrying the baby. You then go through childbirth. And then after you deliver, all of your hormone levels just plummet. So it's a very sensitive time to our mood, our stress levels. And then this time around, our kids are 2 years apart. So it was on top of then having a toddler that needs us and then not sleeping and having a newborn. So our daughter is almost 9 months old. So I am excited to sit down and share this video with you of just some things I've been doing that I've definitely noticed have been very helpful this time around. And I wish I had done them the first time. I just didn't know. So if you can learn from my experiences, that's at least what I hope you can gather from this video. So the first thing I've been trying to do is trying to maintain a sense of inner peace. So I feel like life this year has felt very challenging. Honestly, not necessarily from the baby stage. I feel like as a mom, the second time around, I understand more of what to do with a baby, and it just feels so much easier at a lot of times than having a toddler. Like, I just have not been prepared this year of life with a 2-year-old. And it's just a lot to navigate, like he's learning so much, he's going through so many things, and I do feel like I have been on an emotional roller coaster with that energy. So trying to maintain a sense of inner peace, that is an additional layer. So if you're a first-time mom and you're just having your first baby, at least this will help bring more inner peace. If you are adding on and having your second, third, like, there is a different dynamic with adding additional children to your life. But I definitely felt very stressed after I had my son anyway. Like, as a first-time mom, like, you just don't necessarily know what to do. Just, you're inexperienced in it. And like, that's okay. Like, the first diaper I ever changed was my son's when he came home from the hospital. So it's not like I had like this plethora of experiences with a baby. So this time around with Ellie, like, it just has been so different. She's also a fantastic baby. She's a very chill demeanor, which makes it much easier. Bless her heart. But internally, I definitely noticed that I needed to make sure that I was staying as calm as possible. So I've been focusing on a lot of things, and I'll get into it throughout this video, of the different herbs I've been using to help balance my central nervous system, so that if life around me feels chaotic, internally, I'm not necessarily responding and reacting the same way. And so that has been, I feel like, the biggest challenge as becoming a mom of 2, a mom in general. I think it's hard no matter how you do it. So one of the things I've been doing is trying to find space throughout the day that's just for me, even if it's just like 10 minutes to go out for a walk. I am now routinely, at least with one of our children or both of them most of the time. So I run Balanced Bombshells and I watch our kids mostly full time. So that is such a blessing for me, but also it's so hard. Like, it's so hard just navigating motherhood, however you're doing it. So just making sure that I have some space throughout the day. So I work with my husband on how he can have his space, how I can have my space, and like, that partnership truly helps make the dynamic so much easier. And definitely getting outside, like getting some fresh air to just like get out of the house, like, because my husband and I both work from home. We're home often. So just making sure we're out of the house, and like, just even taking those 10 minutes to just like breathe, whether that's like before the kids wake up or when they go to bed. I try to get them out for walks where I can have a little bit more of a Zen moment too. So just really carving out that space where my brain can just like take a break, because I feel like externally life just sometimes feels very stimulating. And as I'm balancing my hormones, I can be more in a reactive state. So I am nursing, so things are going to take a little bit longer on balancing my hormones. That basically won't fully happen until I'm done nursing. So journaling has helped a lot too, especially if I just need to kind of like mentally process. I feel like in motherhood, just like processing becoming a mom. And like, I definitely have I went through an identity crisis after my son was born, and I have definitely been going on a mini identity crisis after a daughter was born. So your brain definitely is getting rewired. your priorities shift. It's like, what do you want? And like really kind of challenging life's biggest questions. And it's okay to take that space. So you might have noticed that I've been taking a bit of a step back on creating content right now because I just mentally have not been in the space for it. And I feel like that's okay to admit and to do. Like I've set up my business where it is very automated. Like there are things running behind the scenes and systems that is beneficial and why I set it up to be able to be working and taking care of my children. I didn't want an or, I wanted an and in this situation. And I just noticed that this season, it was much harder for me to show up and give energy to other people, even in the sense of creating content, when I felt like I had so few moments throughout the day for myself. So in the hormone balancing journey, just finding space for myself, finding inner peace. So that inner peace is more for me of making sure that my internally, I'm just feeling more even keel because I feel like my cycle came back more fully when Ellie turned 6 months. So it's been almost 3 months. And I definitely notice there's some hormone fluctuations that's going on with my cycle, even though nursing that I am not doing as well on. And I feel like, that's just part of it. Like it can take a couple of months for everything to kind of level out. Like I went the first 6 months of like, okay, body's recovering from a baby. And then I had a hernia surgery when our daughter was 14 months old. So I was also recovering from that. Then your cycle comes back. Like there's just so many different layers on this journey this year. So trying to just kind of like take a beat, take some space, just internalize and process. And I feel like I have not rushed myself to like bounce back like emotionally and mentally and just like taking that space to like feel my feelings when I need to. So the second thing I've been doing is really trying to work on deep sleep. So the deeper we can sleep, the more our body can just rest and restore. And we need that deep sleep in order to be able to help process out cortisol, which is one of our stress hormones, which can be very elevated after childbirth and then not sleeping. Our daughter is not as great of a sleeper as our son was. He started sleeping through the night by like 3 months and just has been a stellar sleeper ever since. Our daughter had a little bit of a harder time because she had a hard time gaining weight as a newborn. So that I noticed her weight was getting in the way of her being able to sleep throughout the night. You have to be a certain weight essentially as a baby to be able to go those long stretches. And because she was so light, it just wasn't working for her because she definitely needed those calories in the middle of the night. So now that she's for the most part sleeping through the night, unless she's like teething or going through like a developmental change, she at least wakes up once in the middle of the night if she does at all. But I've been really working on deep sleep. So and especially like there's so many things you can take on the market to like help your body. But again, I'm nursing. So you have to be extremely cautious and careful of what you take because it can go through the breast milk. So I found these sleepy patches that can go on your pajama shirt and you put it on before you go to sleep, and it has a lot of essential oils that help you get in a deeper sleep. And I definitely noticed from the first night or two that those are helping a lot. So I've been using those. I've been using magnesium and a magnesium lotion that I also used during pregnancy when I was struggling with the pregnancy insomnia in the third trimester. So that combination has helped. And then there are some herbs that I've been using that have helped with deeper sleep, like passion flower. I did talk to an herbalist on my naturopaths team before taking these to make sure that they were safe for lactating women. So that's something that I noticed has helped me. Passion flower helps your body stay in the deeper stage of sleep longer. So there have been numerous times, especially when our daughter started sleeping through the night, that I would just wake up in the morning and be like, couldn't even believe that I slept through the night. Like it's been that long that I have not been sleeping through the night. So it was just wild. So those things have definitely really helped me. And I will link everything below if you're interested in trying like the sleep patches or the lotion, or I use a tincture in a lot of the herbs that I take. So I can just put them in water and drink it quicker. And they don't have to be mixed. Like there's just so many powders on the market that I just can't stand mixing it. And they're like, don't necessarily taste great. So those have helped me get that restorative sleep, which then helps balance your hormones. So the next thing I've been really trying to get back onto now that my cycle is back into gear is cycle syncing. So you know how much I love cycle syncing, and that's where you pair your food, your fitness, your lifestyle, even your supplements all of the habits to your monthly cycle, and that helps balance your hormones. So I was super pumped when I got my period back, because that means that I can actually work better on balancing my hormones. So without having a period, it's much harder to have that like reset. So every time we have our period, it's resetting our body from the month ahead, and everything that we essentially went through the month behind us. So that has been really helpful, because it gives me, I'm such a type A control freak. So if you're the same, I have a lot of cycle syncing resources that I will share with you. You can look in the description below. It is just so helpful for resetting your mind, body, spirit. There's a lot of predictable energy shifts, and like how everything is working to make your body function the best way possible. Then the fourth thing that I have been doing is using herbs to promote a better mood. I definitely noticed that with me being tired, not necessarily sleeping through the night, with a lot of like chaos in like the toddler baby phase, plus working, plus like just there's a lot of mental stress I have noticed. And so with the hormone shifts, I noticed an impact on my mood that put me more in a reactive state versus who I feel like I am more at my core, which is a little bit more easygoing and relaxed, even though I'm type A. So the herbs that have been really helping me are reishi, GABA, which is very personal for me. So don't take that unless you like really need it. You can talk to an acupuncturist or an herbalist. And holy basil. And again, these are very personal to my body chemistry and what I have talked to with healthcare practitioners and practice within myself of know that I respond best to. I am not in the business of saying, oh yeah, this is what I did, so that's what you need to do. Like herbs and supplements are so individual, and definitely doing your own homework, especially if you're pregnant, trying to get pregnant, lactating. Like there's just so many layers of dynamic, and you have to be really cautious. So I share these with you if you're interested in diving deeper into them and if they would be right for you. If you're not pregnant, still definitely talk to your doctor or an herbalist or someone on your healthcare team to be able to know if they were right for you. But those three have definitely made me feel more calm during the big hormonal shifts. Like I personally have a hard time with ovulation when estrogen is really high. And then I've been having a hard time with the later stages of my period. I've been doing good as I'm getting my period and when it first starts, but I just definitely feel a little bit more tired and run down after my period's over, which is more associated to probably iron and maybe not taking enough rest throughout the month prior. So our cycle phases build on top of each other that help reset your body. The fifth thing I've been doing is definitely leaning into exercise, but I've been doing it where I am not overdoing it on exercise. I'm really leaning into short bursts of intense exercise, maybe lasting 10 or 15 minutes, like 2 to 3 times a week. I'm leaning on walking, I'm doing yoga, bar, like really focusing on gentle exercises because my body is not in a state of being as balanced. I don't want to over exhaust myself essentially by on the fitness side. And like that is okay. I'm still coming into being a mom of two. I know for the first year of having a baby, everything just is like the babies change so much during their first year, and everything is like all these different phases as you're getting used to it. So at least like finding grace within myself. And like I've been running gently like once or twice a week for maybe 20 minutes. I'm just very gentle on exercise right now. And thankfully my body responds very well to that, especially in these periods of high stress. And I've just known that about myself over the last 10 years. So you don't have to be heavy hitting on your fitness all the time. I'm not like cutting calories. I'm not doing all these things. And so that actually is helping my hormone balance. It's helping my weight loss after baby. It's helping with all of the things because I'm not overdoing it. Most women overdo it on exercise without realizing it. And so just definitely listening to your body and being like, am I exhausted from this workout? And if you feel like that, then it's time to scale back. So I'm doing short bursts of intense exercise. I'm taking the pressure off of like bouncing back, between like having my second baby, having a hernia surgery, like I had to do 2 recoveries within like 3 months of each other. So I am rebuilding my pelvic floor again. Like there's just so many things that I have to take slow and steady this year. And like, that's okay. That is just where I'm at on my journey. But the lower intensity of exercise is helping balance my hormones and actually keeping my mood and energy more stable as if I was on the more intense side. The last thing that I've been really trying to focus on, especially because I'm breastfeeding and I can't necessarily take a lot of herbs and supplements, is focusing on liver cleansing foods. So our hormones need to process out through our liver, and a lot of people struggle with liver congestion, and especially like postpartum from a pregnancy. it is really hard for the liver sometimes to keep up. So I can't do too many things outside of food right now with my liver. So I've been focusing on like lemon water, beets, celery, dandelion greens, dandelion tea. Those are really good for helping your liver support. So with that, that helps with the hormone balance so that the hormones can be exiting the body the way that they're supposed to. We typically notice more hormone symptoms when the hormones can't exit the body when they're supposed to, and they essentially get recycled to go back through the body. And that's usually when they're like compounding on top of each other. And we're noticing a lot of like skin issues, mood issues, sleep, bloating, period problems, like all of the things that most women don't want to deal with. A lot of it comes through from our liver health. So focusing on foods as best as I can to be able to support the liver, that helps me as much as I can right now of get it to where I want my body to be. But these are just 6 things that I've been doing to help balance my hormones. And I hope that this helps you on your journey, because I know how difficult it is to find resources postpartum. I know how difficult it is to find resources just balancing your hormones in general, of like what actually works. And it definitely, for me, has been a lifestyle approach to be able to make sure that my mood, sleep, body, like everything is working in conjunction of each other. And as much as we want a quick fix and to just like be there, it's definitely a lifestyle practice with balancing our hormones. And women either love or hate me when they hear that, because they're either looking for a quick fix. Most of us don't want to have to go the long, slow, steady game. But at least what I've known in the last 10 years of working on my hormonal health and now having 2 children is slow and steady really does work. And just giving ourselves grace of knowing like we are going to get there. We just have to be consistent. And hopefully having types of conversations like this can help. So I will leave all the resources below in the description. And if you have any questions, please let me know.